Hey YouTube, so I know you guys all have at least an old pair of shoes hanging around, or at least you have some shoe that you wear that is just plain or you want to spice up. Even if it's an old shoe, I know you have a shoe that you can spice up. So today I'm going to show you guys a trick that you guys need to do to your old shoes or even your new shoes to get like a cool effect and just make your shoes stand out, because not many people will be walking down the street or at your school, at your college with these type of shoes every day. So today we'll be dip dyeing our shoes. Today in specific, I'll be dip dyeing my Air Force, not my Air Forces, my Air Maxes, but in specific will be ombre dip dyeing. So normally you guys see these videos on YouTube of people just dip dyeing their shoes and it's just one solid color dip dye. Not today, we will be dip dyeing our shoes and making them as vibrant as we can, you know, just to make it pop off, because some of the other YouTube videos are just they're too much on the light opacity, you get me? So today we'll be doing that. Okay, so first off, what you're gonna want is you want a bucket, and you want a bucket that is big enough to fit your shoe in. So it doesn't have to be like some massive bucket to just store goods in. It's literally just like a shallow bucket, because we're not going to fill the bucket all the way to the top. So just a medium sized bucket to where it can fit your shoe in, and you can dip it in and fill it up with enough water so your shoe can fit in. That will help. And basically you can get a bucket from your local Target or also Walmart or just any other craft shop that has like a decent sized bucket. Then next off, most importantly, you're going to want gloves. Now you want gloves that will cover your hands and protect them. I do recommend plastic gloves. I made my mistake using gardening gloves, which were just not it. And basically, I don't know if you can see over here, but my hands are still got dye in them. So that's just a mistake I made. But just for your sake, use plastic gloves and that would be the best for you. And this will just protect your hands and stuff, so you just don't get the dye in your hands, and it's just it's a pain to clean out, so you want a nice gloves that will protect your hands. Now we want maximum vibrancy on our shoes, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill the bucket up with water. Now the temperature of the water really matters. We don't want cold water because that will decrease the vibrancy, and we want water that will help increase the vibrancy, which is what we want. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to boil water first, and then you can fill it up with the bucket. So just boil water, fill up with the bucket, boil water, fill up with the bucket. And also, here is the next thing. Most importantly, do not fill the bucket all the way to the top. Here is your here's your guideline. Put as little water in the bucket, so when we pour the dye in, you can get more vibrancy. It's like when you're diluting a drink or just stuff like that. If you put more water in it, it's gonna get lighter. So less water, just enough to dip the shoe in, so it's nice and vibrant. So just don't overfill the bucket for maximum vibrancy, and that's what we need. Now we're doing an ombre dip dye here, so we're gonna have to do two parts as well. So once we pour the dye in our water right here, we're just gonna pour the dye, and then I'm gonna show you guys a little magic trick that will help increase the vibrancy and also make the dye like stick into the shoe more. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get dish soap and pour some in, as well as just use salt, like any kitchen salt, and just sprinkle that in as well. And that mix will just help bring out the vibrancy and also make it stick. Also I didn't have anything to mix it with, so just mix it with like anything, a spoon. I used a ruler in this because it was the best thing I could pick for mixing. So that's what you're gonna want to do. Now we're gonna want to put our shoe in. Now I do recommend you to put your shoe in for 25 to 30 minutes for maximum vibrancy, but come on now, I'm not waiting that long. My arms get tired and I do not have the patience to be holding a shoe there for 25 to 30 minutes. So I did mine for about 5-10 minutes, which is more reasonable in my brain because I'm very impatient, and that's what we're gonna want to do. So what you're gonna do, since we're doing the ombre dip dye effect, you're gonna want to hold the shoe halfway. We don't want it full because it's not a full dye. We hold the shoe halfway. Just think of like a ombre haircut when like people get that. It's like it fades colors. So hold it halfway, and then we keep it there, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes, but I do recommend you guys to do 25 to 30 for maximum vibrancy, and then after that we leave it. So when it's done dipping in, we let it drip dry, so just shake out the excess and then we move. And you do have a half dip shoe now, so now you're gonna want to reset it, because we want to dip the other half and get that ombre effect. So basically we pour out the first bucket, and then make sure you clean the bucket out so any of the old color dye doesn't mix with the new color dye. Then repeat the same steps. Get warm water, boil it first, and then pour it in the bucket. Like I said, just enough so it's just the right amount, just enough so you can dip your shoe in. And since it's halfway, you really don't need that much. So, and remember what I said, more water equals less vibrancy. So after that, just do the same thing, dip the bucket in. Now we're done dipping the shoe, and we're gonna want to work on the laces. So as you can see, I'm a lazy man as well. So I didn't want to wait as well. So what I just did is I just briefly I dunked the laces into the mix of when I was done doing the other ombre half of the shoe, and then just swish it around a bit, let it soak in, and then just hold it in, and then your laces will get dyed. Now if you want to do like a two-tone and you want to be really specific, you can get like a paper towel, 2 cotton balls, and get 2 color dyes, and then just go like dip to make like a tie-dye effect. But you know, I just wanted a solid color effect. So basically I just dipped the laces into the bucket, sloshed them around, waited a bit, and then took them out. And that's basically the process done. So what you're going to want to do is just let them dry in the sun, and just after that, that's basically the shoe done dyeing. Now like I'm saying, this is just a really nice trick that you can do to any of your old shoes, and you guys need to do this to your shoes because there's not that many people walking around with dip dyed shoes, and dip dyed shoes are pretty peng and amazing. So, and you also stand out. So this was just an easy method to dip dye. So this is what the shoe looks like after the dip dye has been finished, and you can see it's a decent ombre effect, and you can see the blue is just a little bit too saturated, but that's what we like, a nice vibrant color. Now this was my first time doing a dip dye, and I hope you guys learn from the video, and I hope in the future I'll do better dip dyes as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys would love to drop a subscribe, just subscribe to me, like the video, leave a comment. And if you're watching on the Reddit and you're still here, just comment something, comment fashion reps in the comments, and I wish you guys the best. Thank you.